Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back. Queen Arset here. About a week or so ago, I was watching Annette, who is over at Project Refined Life, and she was reviewing, or rather showing, decks that she had in her collection that celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month. And I am coming in late because it began on September 15th, but the celebration does not end until October 15th. So each year, Americans, and those of us who are not Americans, observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th by celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central, and South America. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into law on August 17, 1988, on the approval of Public Law 100-402. The day of September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. Also, Indigenous Peoples Day, or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12th, falls within this 30-day period. Costa Rica changed the name from Dia de la Raza to Dia de las Culturas to show the mixes of the different cultures. In Venezuela, the name was changed to Dia de la Resistencia Indígena. I hope my Spanish was good. It's been a long time. Anyway, again, welcome to my channel. So as I was watching Annette go through her decks, there was something that just started to ping, and I realized, oh my goodness, I have some of those same decks. And I am a deck collector, and I think what happens as you go along, you collect, you start to find your aesthetic. And maybe subconsciously or subliminally, I have been collecting decks that I celebrate my Caribbean heritage as well. Celebrate my love for all things Latino. Celebrate things of African descent. All of that is there encompassed in my collection. So today I want to show you some things that I have. And this is going to be part one of two, maybe three. Because I went down a rabbit hole, and that's why I'm posting so late. You know, my perfectionism wanted me to have everything, and there was just no way. I mean, as I was going through, I just discovered another deck and another deck and another one, and just so much goodness. So I just want to share some of it with you right now. So one of the things that I love, you guys know that I love to do research and I love to educate. Like, I love to share knowledge. I love to give you things that you can sink your teeth into, that you can research for yourself. I mean, sure, you can go to the Goracle and type in something, but maybe you don't even know what to type in. Maybe this will be a jumping off point. Maybe when this is all done, you can look in your own collection and be like, you know what? Maybe between September 15th and October 15th, maybe I'm going to work with my decks that celebrate this beautiful or these beautiful cultures. Yeah? Okay, so on with the show. The first thing I'm going to show you here is I discovered these flashcards during the pandemic. They were created by a single mom, and she has several versions, several cultures that she celebrates. And flashcards that give you a wealth of knowledge and information. But as a card slinger, I mean, if it's on paper or cardboard, we're going to find a way to divine with it, yeah? So even though this says volume 1 and 2 for 4th to 6th grade or 1st to 3rd grade, the only difference between the two is that each deck has what they call word banks. I'm hoping this is not too bright. I'm going to take a look here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Word banks. So for each age group, your vocabulary improves. Anyway, hopefully I'll remember to put the link. If I don't put the link initially, I'll come back and put the links at the end of the day. So I have 2 sets. I have both sets. And it actually makes it much easier. So for like this guy, this is Don Pedro the First. And let's see here. He had the courage to stand up to his country, which was Portugal, when declaring Brazil's independence. This led to a victory where he became the first emperor of Brazil, etc., etc., etc. And then his keywords are persistent, victorious, risk taker. And see, on the other side, it's him. Let's do that. Here I have Matilda Hidalgo. And Matilda was the first woman to graduate high school and receive a bachelor's degree in Ecuador. She went on to become the first female doctor as well and help the sick in her community. Matilda also encouraged women by becoming the first woman to apply and vote to elect a president in Latin America. She went on to become the first woman elect into Congress in Ecuador as well. Matilda taught and wrote poems when she wasn't busy making history. And her keywords are initiator, confident, and humble. Queen Loisa, one of my favorite. Oh gosh, I hope you see everything. Anyway, legend has it that Queen Loisa was one of only 2 Taino Indian chiefs. So I am Taino Arawak, having been Jamaican descent. That's another video. There's a town in Puerto Rico named after her as a tribute to the area she used to rule over. Taino Indians were the natives of many Caribbean islands, including Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba. Spanish invaders settled in Puerto Rico and exploited the natives to discover gold. The Taino Indians fought back against slavery, but within 50 years of invasion, thousands had lost their lives. And her keywords are proud, diverse, and legendary. So I just pulled a few from the deck so that you can see. Oh, this is one that I love here. I should share this with you. Dandara Dos Palmeras. She was the wife of Zumbi, leader of the largest settlement of freed slaves in the Americas. She believed in fighting for independence and was a leader within her community. There are stories in Brazilian history of her being as fearless as a man in protecting her people. So she has become an admired symbol of hope for women. All over the place here. Okay, we have Rafael Sarah, Afro-Cuban, founded the newspaper La Doctrina de Martí. He used it to express the changes in society that he saw were needed. He announced the need for all of the people to be treated equally no matter the color of their skin. See, he wrote about important decision of Cuba becoming independent from Spain. He was a political leader and very influential within the Afro-Cuban community in New York. So, communicator, outspoken, and inquirer. So, when you're playing with these, maybe the photo. So here's the Amazon jungle. We know this. Let me give you a little, time, I'm going to say. The Amazon jungle creates 20% of the world's oxygen. Just saying. Right? Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana are all responsible for different parts of the jungle. However, the destruction of the rainforest due to climate changes and deforestation would be felt by the entire world. Look how beautiful that card is. And the keywords for that are none. Maybe responsibility. And then I have Simon Bolivar. And Simon, his keywords are survivor, liberator, and visionary. And visionary is one of my favorite words. I see I'm going to have to make this video, break it up a little bit. This guy was fighting for independence from Spain every chance that he got. He went on to help Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Panama gain freedom. He went on to create a union called Gran Colombia, serving as president for several years. To help all countries gain freedom, Simon had to fight in hundreds of battles. Many countries show gratitude for Simon. In South America, his legacy is commemorated on July 24th. That's good. That puts it in that Leo phase. Anyway. Wow. Okay, so we're 10 minutes in, and I just kicked this off. So let's start with this one. Toro de los Huertos. So this deck was created by Laurel Thorndike and produced by Rich and Sharon Roth. And initially it came out just as a Majors Only deck. Like that. And when I heard that the deck was going to be fully developed into a full 78 card deck, of course, I decided, sure, take my money, please. And it came in a box like that. No big deal. This is what the deck looks like now. I have it upside down? Yeah. So, what I showed you before, I'll give you a comparison. But this is what the full deck looks like. It's not bad. A lot of white space. Cardstock is decent. Celebrates the Day of the Dead. But I'm going to do a little comparison here between this one and this one. So this is that side, and that's that side. And you can see the difference, right? That was the original, and then we put, okay, the Fool El Loco, and then we have it here. And I definitely prefer that Loco, the original. That's a little too Mad Hatter for me. That was borderline, but this one really went over the top. And then I have the Shaman. Not much difference between those two. But here's the difference here between the Hermit. Look at that. I'm disappointed in that. Anyway, that's that. Oh, and the back of the deck. I was really hoping that the full size, the full 78 cards would have this back. But they came with the marigolds. Nevertheless, I still like the deck. Let's get that out of the way. Speaking of, no. Then I have this deck, Ofrenda Oracle. And Ofrenda is usually, it's an offering that you can, it's an offering that's usually made to those who have transitioned. It's usually, what's that movie? It's a cliche. But it's a place where it's a setup that you have in your home. It's the altar for your ancestors. Like I have something called a bóveda, and it's where you would leave your offerings. Okay, so this is what the back looks like, and then these are the cards. Um, she's cute. Got a lot of finger there. You know, she's cute. Maybe I should pull her out this year. I bought it a while ago. Yeah. Okay. Let's put that one away. Then I have this one. Let's see if I can get it open. Called Azucar Bone. And this deck was created by Megan Weber. And it says that they draw inspiration from the colors and style of Dia de los Muertos and mixes it with the Wheel of the Year to create a deck that celebrates life and death. Allow the animals featured in this deck to bring you inspiration and messages to help clarify your daily energies. So let's see. Comes a little guidebook, little pamphlet here. Llamas. Rebirth. The Phoenix. Oh, and if you look, you can see the wording in there. Rebirth. Moon, lunar moth, in bulk. Horse, right? Dia de los Muertos. They got all of that in there. Your messenger, Litha by the ox. Anyway, Samhain for the cat. Yeah. Maybe I'll pull this out. I haven't pulled this out. Like this revisiting of my decks has just been wonderful. Wonderful. So these might be decks that might actually start to see some action. Okay. Now, we are all familiar with this. Remember when this came on the scene? The coffin box. It was a limited edition, of course. Now, the creator is not Hispanic, but is it Hispanic? Like, you know, nowadays we have to use the. I don't like to monitor myself. Like, my intention is not to insult. My intention is to learn. So I'm open to learning. So whatever terminology needs to be used, let me know. But, you know, if you're in my home, you're in my home now, I just like to have a free, easy conversation. For me, it's not that deep. We're going to have some arroz con pollo, you know, we're going to have a little, I don't do Bacardi, but, you know, we might. Okay. Anyway, dulce con leche, like, yeah. Anyway, Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte has absolutely nothing to do with Day of the Dead. Nothing whatsoever. Santa Muerte is an energy that is celebrated and honored separate of everything else. This is not just for El Dia de los Muertos. El Dia de los Muertos is celebration of the ancestors, your people who transitioned, and that's a different skeletal representation, la calavera. Different. So, Santa Muerte has nothing to do with Day of the Dead. So the coffin box, they came numbered. I got a few of them, and this one is numbered special because it has my date of birth. It has all the numbers in my date of birth. And, you know, it looks just like, I haven't even taken it out of the plastic. So if you've seen the other box, right, so this is the same deck. It's the same deck. I'm going to pause a minute. Of course, you know that there's this mass market version comes in that box, just like that. It's the same deck that's in here. Same deck, same guidebook. Nothing is different. Maybe the price point. That's the only thing. Same cards. So the cards look like. This has been around for several years, if you don't know. Here's some of my favorite. I love this. And my tower. That kind of reminds me of the favelas. Brazil. Oh, this one. Eight of Cups. Look at that. Of course, you know, anything with a pair of scissors does it for me. Yeah. And then, you know, till death do us part. Yeah. And then, of course, there's a companion oracle deck for this. This goes more into the deities and the spiritual energies related to the culture, I guess you could say, of where Santa Muerte is revered, but even more, it's much deeper than that. It's different deities that are exercised, that come through, that are portrayed. And then when you put the deck together, should you dare, it becomes a Ouija board. I haven't done that. I'm not really concerned about, well, you know, Ouija boards and such. But it would be interesting. Maybe one day I'll sit down and do that. Let me see here. It's been a while since I've worked with this deck. Oh my gosh. Wow, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. You know, thank you, Annette, for, I don't know, giving me that thump on the head. Anyway, so I don't really want to regurgitate a lot of the stuff. I'm going to put Annette's link so you can go over and see her fabulous collection. But I have this one, the Sultan Tarot. I bought this. I have not sat with it. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I need to sit down with this. And considering I invested in this guidebook that's just, I think it was the guidebook that sold me. Look at that. Look at the size of that guidebook. And it's purple. Of course. I'll put this on my list of things to work with. Right? The Sultan. Based on Mayan culture. Yeah. Has the imagery of ancient Maya. You can still get this deck. I just need to sit down with it. Okay. So now, we're taking a trek towards, went to South America. What else do I have? Yes. Now, how about this guy? Oh, put that back. I love it. Here's another thing about me. If I can get an art book, I'm going to move these out of the way. I will get to the Milagros in a minute. This is Obsidian. This is a gift that was given to me by my dear friend Christina. She and I did a walkthrough of the Jade Oracle. I'll put a link to that as well. Put that up there. But Guillermo del Toro. And, I mean, I had to because, you know, of course. And there's actually a deck that says Pan's Labyrinth. But this deck celebrates Del Toro's work. Wow. I edged the deck too. Look at that. I feel like that's dried blood. I like it. That's just me. But it's a pip deck, you know. So if you're not comfortable with pip decks, maybe, but maybe you just like Gil's work. I like the book hella better. Let me see what I can do here. I'm just saying, oh my gosh, like look at all that goodness. You know, so it talks about his life's work. I have yet to see, is it Crimson Peak? That's him at work. You know, most of us love Pan's Labyrinth, do we not? So, there we are. Okay. Wednesday we've done this deck. This next one, it was on my lust list for the longest time. And one day I received a surprise gift all the way from across the pond. And if this person is watching, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me tell you how bad I am. Does anyone else keep the wrapping that things come in? I never threw away the wrapping. I want to say this is part of that. Like Cityscape, I don't do washi tape and things like that, but I couldn't part with it. And the deck came beautifully wrapped in that. And this is the Jonasa Joust. I love, you know, I have fibro, so my hands get a breather, even though the deck is long. And it's, here we go. I don't know which printing this is. I'll have to look it up. But I received this a while ago. I'm just amazed. To see it in person, I know that a lot of people love this deck. And I just found out from Annette's channel that Jonasa is Galatian, and Annette and Jonasa share the same heritage. And the Galatians actually were a Celtic tribe that migrated to the north or south of Spain, somewhere in there. Anyway, yes, that's part of my celebrating Hispanic Latino heritage. Now, got another one, Sugar Skull deck. This is mass produced. The creator of the deck is not Hispanic, not Latino, but the illustrator is, and I will go for that, right? It's the Sugar Skull Tarot deck, full color guidebook. You know, my only complaint is that the cards are square, a little sharp on the hands. I like the coloration. I like the artwork. I like what was done. Maybe I'll pull it out and use it. But there's actually a book by the creator based on the same Sugar Skull. That's a cocktail book. So, yeah. All right. And this illustrator, her name is, and I know that it's a she, Carolina Martinez. Carolina Martinez. Let's see if there's anything in the book about her. Because we know that illustrators don't always get credit for the work that they do. So, Carolina Martinez is a freelance illustrator and a 2D animator in Mexico City. As a freelance illustrator for the past 3 years, she has tried to pursue projects that reflect who she is, what she likes, and what she cares about, so that people can get to know her a little bit better through her art. Plants, women, and esotericism are never missing in what she does. So yeah. I mean, David Ross, he did a pretty good job for being a medical sales representative by day and a tarot reader, card player by night. But hey, you know, we both share a love of a spicy margarita. So thank you for getting this out to us. And let's see. Wow. Yeah, there's gonna have to be a part 2, maybe 3. Let me close with one of my latest favorites, The Journey Tarot. So I think I discovered this deck on Kickstarter a year ago, maybe, top of the year, and it didn't get funded. It didn't. I remember posting in the Facebook group about this deck. Chula Bruis, she has a channel on YouTube. The box does look like this, you know, and it comes packed like that. It does. It comes with a bag. It does come with a bag and a bunch of stickers. But this deck is, it gives me life. I have 2 or 3 copies of it for myself. When she opens up her channel, when you get there, Chula Bruis, she says, "Hola mi gente," and then she starts like, you know, and she's made. And if you know, then you know what I'm saying. She's made, right? If you know, then you know. So I reached out to her when it didn't get funded, and I said, "Hey, are you selling the deck?" She responded like, "Yeah. How many do you want?" And I think I ordered 6 to start. And then I did a couple of orders after that, maybe six dozen, maybe 18 decks. And then I recently heard her say that she's low in stock, if not, maybe at the time of this recording, sold out. And maybe she might go for a second printing. But it's called The Journey Tarot. It's a beginner's deck. So on the back, you have the sun, the rising sun, and the cowrie shells. I mean, okay, so she's glossy. It's a beginner's deck, but you know, it's great for us advanced readers too. My clients like it. Okay? I mean, look at that. Huh? You have the keywords, and I know a lot of people talk about, you know, keywords being big and blah, 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 all of that. Doesn't matter. I think it enhances. On this deck, yeah, I love it. Okay? Hola, mi gente. So, if you are listening to Lisa Bruis, you know, I need your deck to come back. But look at that. Like, look at all that goodness. Yeah? It's just, here we go. A nice, easygoing, don't need to stress, sweat yourself, get out of control sort of deck. Look at that. Keywords that prompt you. The imagery is easy on the eyes. And you know, sometimes you don't want something that's going to burn up the last 2 brain cells you have left. It's okay. I like it. It's great for journaling, you know. And of course, yes, it's a pip deck. Minor pip deck. It's pippish. I'll put it to you that way. My gosh, look at that. Look, man. You know, come on. Come through. Come through. Look. See? Defend and protect. Yeah? New perspective. Yeah. I'm going to put a link to this. So, yeah, this is one of my favorites. And now to close out this video, section. If you've been with me, it's 34 minutes in. Milagros, little miracles. So in Mexican culture, it is said that, and Annette explains it better than I could. I got my Milagros set, believe it or not, from Carrie Paris. These are more than just charms. These are sympathetic magic pieces. So let's say, you pull, I had it here, like you get an arm. An arm is for strength and perseverance. A pig, I do have a pig here. A pig is for abundance in your money. And then, of course, you have some modern things in here now, like a cell phone. Is she going to call me? Is he going to call me? Reach out and call me? Will I get a message? Maybe the skull for you means something is ending. I do have lungs in here, So what you would do is take the milagro to an altar, most likely at a church or a holy place, what is deemed a holy place, and have your petition, how do I say this word? Like pray your petition into the milagro and leave it there, maybe with a candle or something like that. I use these as charms, and yes, sometimes I do put them on my altar too, when I'm doing things to help other people. So I'm going to wrap up video number 1, recording number 1. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm rambly and blubbery. I have not had anything alcoholic to drink. Maybe I should have a little tipple so I can relax. And I'll be back with part 2. So until then, adios.